The Earnestly Speaking podcast is a show that is founded on free-flowing conversation and may at times venture into mature subjects. Listener discretion is advised.
Yeah, Earnestly Speaking podcast. Let's get it. I'm a giant in New York, in Miami carry heat. So much more in store, my product can flood the street. Opinion Nation Godfather, CEO. Puff in the late 90s, gon' see me blow. Oh. Got my hustle on, no imitation of that. Army of untouchables, Opinion Nation staff. Never an off season, homie, check the numbers. Heart throb in my own right, supplying southern comfort. Earnestly speaking, my ego is well fed. Earnestly speaking, you're too evil and no threat. See, I'm like a hurricane, you're a mild breeze. Earnestly speaking, leaving Eli a dynasty. Shake!
Earnestly podcast coming to you Wednesday night, late night, January 22nd, 2025, here with the now championship edition, weekend edition of the EJ the Degenerate with my man, Zack The Degenerate, here with us. Going late tonight because he had another week. We had to go to work late tonight. Man, you working hard, man.
These fucking art gallery parties are killing me.
It was a side job.
Oh no, they all come to the restaurant after they had their little party at the art gallery.
Yeah. So we'll get to our best bets for the last two games of the for the championship weekend before we get to the Super Bowl. We're also going to do our NBA Midseason awards as well too. A couple topics I'll get into there. But first, I want to react to some of the news we heard today. Breaking news in New York as the Jets and signed Lions defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn as the new head coach. Any thoughts on that?
I mean, yeah, he's a decent he was a decent coordinator, but you literally replaced a defensive coach with a defensive coach.
Yeah.
And you're either drafting a quarterback this year or next, and you have an old timer there who's on his way out. It makes no sense to me to go in that route because I never believe in having a defensive coordinator as a defensive coach for a young, growing quarterback.
So it's weird because there's two things here that you can look at the story. Obviously, the Lions losing this weekend in shocking fashion, and then losing both their coordinators on both sides of the ball in a span of 48 hours. Ben Johnson goes to the Chicago Bears on about 2 days ago, and then we found out today that Aaron Glenn is going to the Jets. So I'm very fascinated by the Lions' future about this too. Also, our friend in the podcast, Chris Chrismanic, did say, a year ago and maybe 2 years ago that Detroit's window could be very small, only because of the fact that they're so good right now. What happens when teams are good? What happens? The teams start poaching off your staff, and we've seen that now double with the Lions. They lose both the coordinators, so I'm really curious to see how Detroit replaces those guys. Not to say Detroit won't be good in the years to come, but we've seen teams struggle out to shoot after losing coordinators. I mean, look at the Eagles for a little while. They had when Nick Sirianni lost his guys. It was a little touch and go for a year. When Doug Peterson, the Eagles, as well too. When we lost the coordinators, it was touch and go. So I'm very fascinated how that plays out on their end. On the Jets end, okay, Aaron Glenn's a coach. Cool. Is Aaron Rodgers your quarterback next? Aaron, your quarterback next year? Which honestly, I think I'm actually leaning more on the idea of him coming back next year. Honestly, but your thoughts? You have any opinions on the Detroit angle in terms of their future, losing the staff, and then the Jets, of course?
Look, one, I think the Detroit's future, they probably still have a 2 to 3 year window.
Wow.
All their big playmakers, they're still under contract. They're still young, so they're pretty much locked in. The thing that derailed them this year was health on the defensive side of the ball.
Agreed.
It was nothing but health that was the main issue. So honestly, I don't see how bringing in a new coordinator, unless you're going to change the scheme completely. Like if you're smart, you bring in a coordinator who's going to run the same type of system that Aaron Glenn ran. After that, the Jets, yeah, you're right. It's probably best with a new defensive-minded head coach to keep Aaron Rodgers, but now the man's another year older, another year slower, and he's been afraid to ever make a mistake because he likes to protect his touchdown to interception ratio.
Yeah. But unfortunately, I would say for the Jets that might be their best option right now because it's not a good market for quarterbacks. You're not in there's not a really good market for quarterbacks in the draft. On top of that, you're not even drafting in the top 5. So your best bet is to stay around for 1 more year, see what you can do with this roster. You still got those guys coming back, Devontae Adams and those guys. So your roster at least is, I guess, doable. We'll see. I don't know. It's a mess in New York, man. It really is. It really is. So before we get to the best bets, though, obviously we touched on the Detroit Lions last week losing to the Commanders. As everybody knows, this podcast, you're a Commanders fan. Your wife is a Lions fan. How's that dynamic working out since the game?
It was sad for another day after. I mean, most of her family went to that game.
Yeah, you told me that.
So I haven't seen any posts really, other than I'm still a Lions fan.
I hope so. You made it this far.
It's been real quiet. So,
well, there you go. So you weren't on the couch. Okay.
I'm sure. No.
Okay. Because my wife might put me on the couch. The Saints and Giants playing the NFL game, and the Giants win. I might get on the couch. Maybe we'll see. But anyway, we are here. Championship weekend. 2 games. Final 4. First game. Your Commanders. My God, you told me in September that this team would win the NFC title game and the vertical in the Super Bowl if they win this week. I would have said, get the hell out of here. But we're here. Commanders at Eagles, Zach. The Eagles right now are 6-point favorites. The over-under is 47. Best bet for you. What you got?
Best bet is going to be an over. But look, I'm going to ride with Washington. Jalen's a little banged up and put one helmet on Saquon's knee and everything goes down the drain for the Eagles.
That's interesting. You already know what I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for you guys. Everybody's asking me as a Giants fan, oh, is this a nightmare for you, Commanders and Eagles? I go, no way. No, I'm good. Like the nightmare is Cowboys and Eagles. That's the nightmare. That's the real nightmare for me. No, I don't mind the Commanders, man. And Jane Daniels is awesome, man. I love watching him play, and I hope he gets to the Super Bowl. So it'd be nice. By the way, what if we get the Super Bowl 26 rematch of Redskins and Bills? Can you imagine that? Ooh, low key.
I would feel real good about that game. I think our toughest matchup will be against the Eagles. Whoever we place if we win, whoever we face in the Super Bowl, I feel better about beating than the Eagles. Honest to God. Yeah. We can look at the Chiefs. We'll talk about them in a second, but
yeah.
They're a defensive team this year. I'm not afraid of their offense. And the Bills, look, you shut down Josh Allen, just slow him down on the run.
Yeah.
They don't have much.
I was posed this question the other day, Monday. I'll ask you, since you Commanders fan, it affects you, of course. Is this the greatest rookie year we've ever seen at this position?
It's easily the greatest rookie season.
Yeah.
And I wish I would have had just the balls to put $10 down on Washington to go to the Super Bowl.
But come on, that's just throwing away money in August anyway.
$10 preseason. If they make it to the Super Bowl, would have netted you $1,000.
But you work so much anyway, you probably could afford it. So,
yeah. And I throw away so much on stupid bets. Yeah,
that's true. That's very true. No, so when I was posted that question the other day, I remember thinking, I initially was like, my initial reaction was to say no, just because I hate prisoner moment kind of thing. But then I thought about, I was like, wait a second, let's think about this a second. Let's do a thing about this. Rookie years. So you can't use Patrick Mahomes because that was technically his second year, as a quarterback. That was his first year as a starter, but it was not his rookie year. Look at other rookie years that stand out, like in terms of team accomplishment, also with what he's done on the field. Like the last great, we saw RG3, 12 years ago. 13 years ago rather. But even that, you know, they didn't get this far, number one. And I would argue Jane Daniels is a better quarterback than RG3 back then. It was a great.
Oh yeah,
I was
he's way better than RG3 was.
Andrew Luck was pretty good that year too, also. But I would argue that this season's still better. I mean, I'm looking at other quarterbacks that stood out in the last like 30, 40 years, and like Marino's first year was great, obviously, but his great year was really the second year. Elway, same thing too. Also, I don't see a rookie year that's matched up like this at this position anyway.
No, the closest when it comes to winning would be Roethlisberger, just because of how far he won 13 straight games as a rookie.
Well, they went 15-1 and went to the AFC title game for losing the Patriots, but he wasn't that good though. He wasn't Big Ben back then. He was
he wasn't game manager. Ben, but for what he did, it was pretty amazing.
No, Jane Daniels is carrying his team. Let's be clear about that. Like outside of maybe McLaurin, there's really no one special in this roster.
No.
Let's be clear about that.
There is not. So I think you have to look at, honestly, last year was CJ Stroud, or like you said, Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
After that, I don't think anyone has been superb as an individual and also led his team anywhere near the playoffs.
CJ Stroud might be the closest, I think, because CJ Stroud, took a team that the Texans were number 2 pick in the draft, similar to Jane Daniels this year. A Texans team that was literally had won a combined 10 games in 3 years prior. So the Stroud thing, I think, would be the only one I could really put like my finger on. But yeah, I say this is the best rookie year. That being said, back to the game here. Look, I'm rooting for you guys to win this game. I really am, obviously, but it to me, as you mentioned earlier, this is gonna be the toughest game of the 3 teams left. You have potential opponents. Obviously, Eagles this week. But then if you win the game, you obviously can play the Bills or the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. This is the hardest one, number one. And I think the Eagles had their scare, the big scare against the Rams. I hate to say this. I think the best bet's the Eagles. I think the Eagles, Saquon is on a heater right now. I know Jalen Hurts is hurt, but at the same time, they just got too many fucking weapons, man. And that's the thing. Jane Daniels is great as he's been this week. Does he press in this game now? Because the pressures start matching now. We're not an AFC title game now. So I hope he doesn't. I'm rooting to win, but I just don't see it, man. I think the best bet's the Eagles to cover 6 points.
Well, that's good because you really haven't seen us win in any of these games. So
yeah,
let's stick with that. And
no, I did have y'all against Tampa. Actually, I did have against Tampa.
Oh, okay.
I did pick against Tampa. I did say that. So, but go Commanders. No, I will say that. All right, and then the big one at night, 6:30. It is the Bills at Chiefs. The Chiefs are currently 2-point favorites. The over/under is 47.5. Zach, what you got?
I'm going to take the under in this game. And while I'll be rooting for the Bills, they showed me nothing against the Ravens, specifically Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Nothing. So Kansas City's going to win the game, but I think the safest bet is going to be the under.
I'm going opposite. I'm going over in this one. And I'm with you. Like last year, Baltimore lost that game. We watched the game together on Sunday.
Yeah. They
lost that game. Because as many turnovers they had in that game, they were still within a 2-point conversion of tying that game, and Buffalo didn't show anything on offense in the second half of that game. So, again, Lamar and company got to figure that out. They beat themselves. That's simple. Buffalo did enough to win that game. They took care. They got the breaks. They took advantage of the breaks early in the game, and they held on. Buffalo plays KC very well, very well. In fact, the times that those games are not blowouts but convincing wins is when Buffalo wins them, not KC. But like I said, if you ask me who's going to win the game today, I'll probably say KC. You ask me tomorrow, I might say Buffalo. And I might change back and forth until kickoff. So I don't know. Because I think Buffalo Buffalo does have that feel of this is their destiny now this year. That team of destiny thing going right now. That's what it feels like right now. Casey's been playing so close to the club now that at some point they're gonna get caught, right? I mean, even Houston, yeah, they covered 8.5 points, but even Houston was in that game, and it was a couple bad calls. Maybe the Texans find a way to tie that game. So, but the other Chiefs, you also have the home field advantage. You also have the fact that the refs are going to be favoring you because you're champs. So my best bet's the over. My pick is a Chiefs, but I can change my pick on this at any time. But to me, Josh Allen has a lot to gain here. I mean, this is as perfect a spot for Josh Allen to finally build on his legacy, and don't blow it. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. If he doesn't turn the ball over, and the Bills don't turn the ball over, they stand a chance.
Yeah. And I think Josh Allen's gonna be very active with his legs in this game too, especially. So, but yeah, best bet for me is the over. You have the under in that one. So, good luck for that one. All right, here we go. So now we are around the midway point in the NBA season. You know, some teams play 42, 43 games or 41, whatever. So I want to go and check in and do a quick review. So what I did here is I sent you some like different like awards, the midseason awards. So surprises, disappointments, most per player, sixth man, rookie of the year, defense player of the year, coach of the year, and MVP so far. So let's go first to the surprise. Zach, what is the biggest surprise this year so far?
Cleveland, to me.
Mm.
I mean, if anyone on their bingo card had Cleveland far and away with the best record in basketball, I would say they're lying. All right. That's the biggest takeaway for me.
Yeah. My surprise is the Pistons. I mean, we knew that there was talent there. I remember you and Chris last year on our season preview, like for the last season, was saying the Pistons are going to be on the way up very soon, and then obviously injuries derailed that. But for them to be in right now, if the playoffs are today, I think they're playing right now currently. They are really good. Kate Cunningham is amazing. We'll get to him in a second. But Detroit being right now to me is a massive surprise for me. There's a couple of surprises there, of course, but this one to me stands out more than anything else. So I'm going with the Pistons as my surprise so far in this young season. All right, what about disappointment? What you got?
Disappointment? Mm-hmm. It's a toss-up, really.
Okay.
It's either Jimmy Butler.
Ooh.
Or it's the Suns. I really expected the Suns to be better. With that offense, I just expected KD and Booker with year 2 appeal to be a better team.
Yeah. Right now, the hovering barely. I think they're playing right now. I think they're out of playing right now. If
it wasn't for the last 2 weeks, they were like 5 games under.
Sorry, no. Hold on. I'll tell you this right a second. But yeah, I like that one actually. The Suns being a disappointment. They have and the strange part too also is they actually started off pretty well, and then they just kind of fell apart. So right now they're the 10 seed in the West. So they've been playing barely. They're battling with Golden State right now, but still. And who knows if they had Bradley Beal in that roster much longer? Who knows? You mentioned Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler, could be on the move very soon, and we keep hearing Phoenix is involved in that. Quick question before we get to the rest of the awards here. Does Jimmy Butler at least does he help Phoenix in the short term?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, and I say that because he helps them on the taxes. That's it.
Okay.
I don't see him helping that team whatsoever. At this point in his career, if he doesn't get what he wants, he's shown he's going to be a cancer.
Well, he's already out. He's already spent another 2 games. Which tells me I think the trade's happening very soon. My disappointment though for me, honestly, and this might be a little surprise here. Minnesota, the Timberwolves. Look, I know they lost Cat, but we all examined that trade with Randall. Not necessarily a wash, but you did gain also Dante DiVincenzo.
No, I mean that's a legit option.
Yeah,
I thought they were going to be a top 4 seed.
yeah. I
Because
thought I thought it was a top 60 at the very least. They're not even that right now. Number 8 in the West. I mean, they're playing a little better as of late, but I figured this would be the year they sustain and be on those top, as you mentioned, top 4 teams in the West, and you're not getting that, man. I mean, Edwards still having a great year, but the parts have not really responded in the way I thought it would. And look, things happen in between now and in the spring, but for right now, they to me are a disappointment to me right now. So there you go. All right, Zach, give me your who was it here? Your most improved player right now so far.
so this is a toss up. I'm either going to the first guy, Shaden Sharp. He's drastically improved. I thought he was going to be washing out of the league.
Okay.
Never going to be never going to be a starter again. But this year he's played pretty good for Portland. I know the team sucks as a whole.
Beat us last night, though. Say that.
Yeah. Otherwise, I would go with Caden Cunningham.
That's mine also too. I mean, this guy, and I want to broach this question with you. Actually, I think I meant to ask you in the text, but I'll bring it on the podcast. He might be a top 25 player now.
Well, I
He
could have
might.
sworn I had him in top 25.
It's very
If
possible.
not, he was super close.
Yeah, maybe 26.
Yeah.
I mean, watching this year, because we do a top 25 list every year to start the season, it's definitely gonna be a massive shakeup again. We're seeing massive shakeups. So I think Kay Cunningham is definitely eyeballing my list as well too. So we both agree to Kay Cunningham also most improved player. How about 6th man of the year? What you got?
So for midway, it's Russell Westbrook.
I love that one actually. I wanted to go there too also.
But I think by the time the season's over, I think he's going to end up staying in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
And won't be given that option. Because I really don't think they're going to flip-flop him and Aaron Gordon anytime soon, just with how they've been playing of late. But for a midseason, to me, it's Westbrook.
I like that one a lot actually. He's been so good. I feel like it's like kind of like a detriment to LeBron, because he leaves. So Russ wasn't terrible, not terrible in Houston. He was terrible in LA. Then he was really good in the Clippers, and then he's doing phenomenal in Denver. I feel like that's a kind of a detriment against LeBron a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You can't take any shine from LeBron.
Yeah,
that's what makes AD so special. Is he's an under the radar guy who takes no shine away from LeBron.
that's true. My 6th man is going to be Peyton Pritchard in Boston, averaging 14 points a game right now, 3-point specialist, the whole nine. He's been, obviously you have Tatum and Brown and all those guys, but this dude, I mean, I never would have thought this guy would have been remotely close to 6-man ability, but he has been actually absolutely great. This guy was like probably a 9th option maybe on the bench 2 years ago, maybe a year ago, and right now he's probably the close to betting average rating. I know the kid in Atlanta, Hunter, is really good too. Also, so he's another one to keep an eye on as well too. All right, how about rookie of the year? This is probably the hardest one to do, rookie of the year, honestly.
Yeah, there hasn't really been
standing
an
out.
outstanding rookie.
Yeah,
and so I'm gonna play it safe and be a homer here and take Silva as the rookie of the year candidate.
Orlando.
Hey, he's had some pretty big games.
Yeah,
he put up 29 one night last month, so he's done all right.
I don't hate it, man. I don't hate it. I'm gonna go with, because look, this has been such a shit rookie class anyway. I'll go Castle in San Antonio for the time being. He's averaging 11 points a game. And Atlanta, San Antonio, to the credit, they're around 500. Which is a testament to Wembanyama, number one, and number two, Chris Paul has at least been a stable force there. Adding veterans like him, adding veterans like Harrison Barnes, stabilize the team a little bit now. They need a whale now. They need a star. But yeah, I think Castle's been decent for that team as a rookie. So you have that. All right, next one. Defensive player of the year. Who you got?
Oh, that's Wemby.
Same. Also.
I mean, there's no one competing against him.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I think that's the part of his game that people still don't talk enough about with him. Obviously, he's a decent shooter. He can go to the basket if need be, but to me, the reason why I have him he might be a top 5 player right now is because he's so impactful on both sides of the ball.
What is the one shocking thing is for a guy who averages as many blocks as he does, he doesn't grab enough rebounds.
So
I would expect him to average 14 to 15 rebounds a game.
He's always waiting for the basket.
Always be a double-digit rebound game.
He's always waiting for the basket, though. I think that's why he's not running baskets enough.
That's what I'm saying. That's what makes his blocking so amazing.
Yeah, true. Very, very good point there. All right, Coach of the Year, Zachary. Who'd you got?
So this is only a three horse race, but again, you got to go Homer here. Well, the Magic have lost their top 3 players at one point.
Yeah.
Banchero's finally back. Suggs was out for a while. We're still missing missing Franz.
Yeah.
So if you don't think Mosley's Coach of the Year, I don't know what you're on, but no one's been better than him this year.
No, he's definitely a great choice. But to me, and I think I told you this at dinner the other night when we were hanging out on Sunday. Ime Udoka, what he's doing in Houston. We are now in almost late January, and the Houston Rockets are still the number 2 seed in the Western Conference. And in what world are the Houston Rockets the second best team in the conference? That's insane to me.
No,
I mean, and again, Mosley definitely deserves to be in the conversation. I said it's between him and Udoka, or maybe the guy in Cleveland has a chance. But yeah, but Ime Udoka has the Rockets at 15 games over 500 right now. And the impressive part, too, also, is that he's doing it in that conference. That's always stacked, the teams.
Yeah, but, I mean, again, that's also got some of the most disappointing teams.
True. But for this team to be 29-14, I think right now, as we're recording, is pretty sick, man. They won the last 10 games. But yeah, Ime for me is my Coach of the Year so far through this young season. All right, and finally, MVP, Zachary, who you got?
So, I mean, it's SGA, but running close behind, it's the Joker.
So I'm with you too. Also, if Denver can stay right now number 4 in the West. Here's where
and they're climbing fast.
They're climbing that. It's time to put things together. If the Nuggets can keep winning, and stay, he has to probably get the number 3 in the West for that to be realistic, because OKC right now is running away with the West. They're 7 games up on Houston. Okay, they're going to be barring a catastrophic injury or something unforeseen. They're going to be the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. That's a wrap right now.
Yeah.
So at this point, SGA is tonight. Yeah, 54 points. So look,
he is special.
Yeah, look, I get what Jokic does, and it's incredible. Obviously, I know. I'm not even saying it because of fatigue. Like, I don't believe that shit. I believe if you're the best player of that campaign, combined with your team winning, you deserve an award. But now SGA is winning ball games now and winning a lot, and he's doing this again like he did last year. For Jokic to have a realistic chance of winning this, though, he has to get to at least to the 3 seed.
What is nice about this argument is if you took either one of these guys off their teams, the team just collapses.
Yeah, value.
It's not like the previous years when people would throw LeBron's name, and he had stud after stud next to him.
Yeah.
I mean, this legit. If you took Jokic off the Nuggets, they're not even 500. And if you took SGA off, I don't even know if they'd be 400%.
What's funny is when you said that, like when Denver won the title 2 years ago, I said that if you took Jokic off the team 2 years ago, they might be a play-in team at best. I agree with you on that. I think those parts, they need Jokic. Jokic is the glue of that team.
Oh yeah.
Like Michael Porter is not even viable without Jokic. Aaron Gordon, same thing. Jamal Murray, when he's healthy, I mean, he's okay. But again, Jokic is the glue of that team. So I'm with you. And SGA too, also same thing. He's the glue of that team. But the winning is what separates those two guys. So But yeah, there's our awards. One more thing to get you out of here. I'll be quick on this. So I updated my current championship bubble. I've listed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 teams on my list right now. I want to ask if you agree or disagree with this. That right now I see in the NBA Finals. Now, normally I get a little more latitude. Some teams that are like struggling, but I could probably see them making a run. This time around, I'm a lot more stricter. I feel like it's a little more defined this year. So I have 7 teams I labeled that are in my championship bubble right now who I could see in the NBA Finals. 4 from the East and 3 from the West, which is shocking because normally it'd be the other way around. You think? So
Yeah.
my 4 teams in the East, the Celtics, obviously, the champs, the Cavs, the Knicks, and the Bucks. And then my 3 teams in there on the West are the Thunder, the Mavs, and the Nuggets. Now, there are a lot of teams I mentioned there who I mentioned or who I didn't mention that are doing well seeding wise. You know, the Rockets and, you know, the Grizzlies and all that. But ultimately, I did not mention them because I still don't think I see them in the finals. Do you agree with my list there? Yes or no?
I mean, I'm a little iffy on Milwaukee.
Okay.
Like, if I stretched it to Milwaukee, I'd have to throw in a healthy Magic team. All right.
Okay.
And then when I look out west,
Who am I missing?
I really think you do have to put Memphis back in that conversation.
I'm still a
Because
little
Ja
skeptical.
can dominate.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. They're the one team waiting. They're the team waiting. I still don't see Houston doing it.
No.
I'm done with the Lakers. I'm done with the Suns. I'm done with the Clippers. I'm not getting hoodwinked again. The Kings have played better since the Mike Brown firing, but I'm not ready to put them as a finals team yet.
No.
Not yet. I gotta see more before I even buy into that. And look, this list is fluid. I can add more teams in weeks to come, or take out teams in weeks to come. But I'm a little this year. I'm being a little more strategic and a little more strict with who I see as actual contenders right now or final teams I see in the finals. And I still don't see that the Grizzlies yet. I think they're the only other team in the Western Conference I would consider that's on my list right now.
Now, real quick,
Yeah.
as we were talking Houston and we were talking Cade Cunningham, Houston with Sangoon, he might also be a top 25 player already.
He's great. He's really good.
He is why they are winning.
Of course.
I know people want to talk about Jalen Green and stuff, but he's so hot and cold.
He is.
Whereas Sangoon is just that steady ship that you can always count on.
If I'm Houston, am I considering trading him, Jalen Green? He has some value, right?
Oh, he's got lots of value. I mean, lots of teams want a young guy who's on a second-year contract.
Yeah.
Or coming up for one.
Right. But what they're doing, it works, I guess, right now. And Ime has that team pretty focused. So maybe you just ride it out what you got now for the time being. Why break it up now when you have it's working? You know what I'm saying? I guess so. I don't know. No, but yeah, I'm saying Goon might be a top 25 player also. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. He's the best player on the team for the record. So anyway. I think that's it here for me. Zachary, good luck with your Commanders this weekend. Go Commanders. Hope they win. Go to Super Bowl. Be happy camper.
And look, I hope you get something back good from the Butler trade.
Yeah, I think from what I'm hearing, it looks like Milwaukee, Phoenix, and Miami are trying to get something together with some other teams on the side too.
Yeah. So what would you guys be getting back from Milwaukee?
Well, I think they're going to try to dump Chris Middleton.
Okay. Hey, it'll help you in the short term.
Yeah. I mean, it's a wash in injuries, but Middleton's a small salary. And someone that can play, he'll fit in, I guess. You know, it's got to stay healthy.
I just can't believe any team would ever want to trade for Bradley Beal.
Well, my problem is that I would have no problem with Bradley Beal in Miami. I don't want Bradley Beal with that no trade clause.
I just want Bradley Beal in Miami. You've got someone just as good, if not better, in my opinion, Tyler Hero.
Yeah.
So, and Bradley Beal doesn't offer anything of value for what you really need.
You can't stand Bradley Beal, can you? Oh my God, Jesus! For like 2 years now, you just can't stand the dude.
Dude, he didn't deserve a max contract.
I agree with him.
You were a good player. You weren't even a star, and you were just a good player on a crap team.
Yo, Washington got out that thing scot-free.
Yeah.
And I know things are bad there still, but you know, you rather at least you're not paying that guy on your roster now. So anyway, Zachary, good luck with your boys on Sunday.
Yes, sir.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you later.
I'll be at Greece at 3:00 for that game if you want to drop by.
You going where?
Downtown Greece.
Oh,
it was good luck for me on Sunday night. So.
Oh shit! I have the kids though. Are you working on Sunday night?
No, my bosses let me have off because of the game.
I may go out for the night game if the wife lets me. So I'll let you know. But
let's see how much I survived the first game.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Now I have the kids like 6:30 on Sundays. That's why it's hard to get out unless I get someone to watch the kids. So
gotcha.
All right, buddy. We'll talk later.
Good luck later.
All right, buddy. All right, later.